What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Bring the Juice Colts podcast. So a couple of roster moves have been taking place over the last few minutes here. I just got the alert, and I'm sure a bunch of you are going to see this. But if you haven't, here's what's been going on recently. So going into training camp here this next week, the Colts have placed tackle Eric Fisher on the active/PUP list. Defensive end Dayo Adangbo on the active/non-football injury list, and defensive tackle Rob Windsor, the 6th-round draft pick out of Penn State in the 2020 draft, was placed on the IR. Now, just to give clarification for all of this stuff, basically, for all of this was kind of to be expected except for Windsor, okay? Eric Fisher was expected to be put on this list. Players that at the start of training camp on the PUP list will remain there throughout the preseason, right? And then they can start the regular season on the PUP list, which would mean they would miss the first 6 weeks of the season. Now, what we're expecting is we're expecting Eric Fisher to come off the PUP list before the regular season starts, so he doesn't have to miss the first 6 weeks of the season if he indeed is coming back. That's just the rules as it is right now for the PUP list, but you can be placed on there, and you would see some fluctuation probably towards the end of training camp and the end of the preseason. We will see what happens there, but nevertheless, we anticipated Eric Fisher to be on the PUP list to start this year, so nothing really new is happening in that sense of urgency there. So, Dayo Adangbo was placed on the non-football injury list. So the non-football injury active list is very similar to the PUP list, but in order for that player to be eligible for that list, the injury would have had to occur away from the team. And of course, with, him being at Vanderbilt and, kind of doing that in training and other stuff like that, that wasn't something that happened with the Colts. So he was able to do such things. Still unclear really as to, when exactly we're going to see him, get a chance to be able to do stuff like that. So we kind of anticipated him being on that list as well. And the big shocker, the shocker out of this whole news is Rob Windsor being out for the year. When you are placed on the IR before the season starts, in that regard, you are out for the season. Now, due to last year, you can, because of COVID-related stuff and with the policies changed by the NFL, they said that they are, you were able to keep guys and not be able to, you didn't have to get rid of it. Didn't mean he was actually out for the season. You could put a guy on an IR because of that, just free up a roster spot, but then not be able to do something with it. But nevertheless, basically, I'll give credit to Joel Erickson. He's the one that's been on top of this one, most specifically. Joel Erickson, Colts insider reporter for Indy Star, was asked for clarification from the Colts, and he was told that he's out for the year. So, that's what we're hearing from it right now. We'll see what happens, but sounds like we won't be seeing any of Windsor this next year, which is very unfortunate. I was kind of hoping he would come in and do something, but that's basically just the quick news here, guys. Very simple, very quick. Just a lot of news when it comes to some of our linemen here. Didn't really anticipate anything different with Dayo and Eric Fisher, but we will have to see how Eric Fisher is towards the end of training camp. We'll see how that is and whether or not he stays on that PUP list and would stay on there for a first potential half of the season almost. And then obviously Robert Windsor, the surpriser, being out for the year. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you think of these roster moves. And as always,